Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we have some information that came out about how fast the PS5 is selling in the UK, and since most gamers don't seem to be interested in NFTs, Konami decided that's something they really need to get into. We have those topics and more to cover, but before we get started, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell, and we can keep you up to date with gaming news. Now let's get started. So first, the PS5 sort of hit a milestone in the UK, and we have a headline here from gamesindustry.biz. PS5 hits 2 million UK sales, making it the fourth fastest selling game console of all time. Now this information is coming from GfK, who is a provider of data and intelligence to the consumer goods industry. And according to their data, the PS5 has sold 2 million units in the UK. It is the fourth fastest selling home console to reach the figure, matching the PS3 but behind the PS4 and the PS2 and the Nintendo Wii. Now I think we obviously all know that the PS5 sales have been hampered by supply chain issues, and GfK comes to the same conclusion according to the statement from Senior Client Director Dorian Bloch. Given the stock problems surrounding PS5, it's fair to say it would have easily outpaced PS3 to 2 million units. One thing that is clear, the significantly higher price of PS5 has not hindered sales, with consumers willing to pay the £105 premium that is shown on the average price of both consoles over this 2 million unit period. PS5 has delivered the highest revenue of any console at 2 million units. And you're probably wondering how other consoles stack up here in reaching this 2 million sales number. And they have a chart here showing the Wii, of course, in first place, followed by the PS2, then the PS4, and then the PS5 and PS3 basically tied. And then you have the Xbox One, the Xbox 360, the PS1, and the Nintendo Switch surprisingly didn't sell that quickly. And then the original Xbox in 10th place. So overall, not a bad start for the PS5 in the UK, even though it's below the PS4. I think as supply becomes better, we'll see those numbers catching up. Next, since it seems that most gamers aren't interested in NFTs, that's obviously the direction Konami is going to go. So apparently they announced plans to launch a platform for trading in-game NFTs. Now this comes from the press release you can see here, and this was sent out as a sort of recruiting tool for people to help work on this new platform. And you can see here where they describe what this is that they're building. It says, "We have been conducting research and development to incorporate the latest technology into games and contents, and plan to launch a service where players can trade their in-game NFTs, digital items, through a unique distribution platform using blockchain." And then they go on to describe what the NFTs are. It says NFTs can be used in-game as items, as well as participate in fan communities and events, and interact with other services and communities to further expand the user experience. So I'm not sure how you interpret this, but it sounds to me like they're looking at making NFTs items that you get in-game. Now I don't know if these are rewards, but let's just say that you're playing a game and you get a weapon of some kind that you don't need. Could this be an NFT and you could sell it? I know most online games will ban you for real money trading, but have you ever wondered why game companies seem so interested in NFTs? Well, it's because the marketplace where you sell them will give a cut to the company when you sell it. Now that is something they don't get with real money trading or even the used game market. Say if you go to GameStop and buy a used Konami game, Konami gets no cut from that sale. However, let's say this game is a digital game and is tied to an NFT and you sell it to another user, Konami would get a cut of that sale. And it would be the same thing with in-game items as well. But it doesn't look like Konami is backing down anytime soon on the NFT train, but let me know what you think. Would you be okay with being able to sell in-game items or rewards, and a company like Konami getting a cut of that sale? Next, we have another game from PlayStation coming to PC, this coming from the PlayStation Twitter account. Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales swings into PC November 18th. Full details on the PC features and pre-purchase bonuses. Now you can pre-order it right now on Steam or Epic Game Store, and it's priced at $50. And pre-ordering the game will unlock the following content early, so you would eventually get this, you just get it early. A 2-suit pack including the tracksuit and Into the Spider-Verse suit, early access to the Gravity Well gadget, and 3 skills points to unlock some abilities from the start of the game. And like the previous Spider-Man game as it was brought to PC, there were some features that were added. There's options for ray-traced reflections and ray-traced shadows, performance-enhancing upscaling technologies like NVIDIA's DLSS 3 and ultra-wide aspect ratios. Now, Miles Morales released on the PS4 and the PS5 back in November of 2020, so it's been 2 years later that we're getting this PC port. And a few weeks ago, if you remember, we had that story where PlayStation Studio head Herman Hulst stated that he believed that single-player games would come exclusively to PlayStation first and then to PC about 1 year later. So while we are at a 2-year window here with Miles Morales, I would imagine that window will continue to shrink down as they get better at porting games to the PC. Next, we had an updated trailer come out for Sonic Frontiers, and I haven't really talked about the game much recently, so I thought I'd kind of give you some thoughts here. And apparently somebody hit the button too fast, and the trailer was put up and then quickly taken down, but then later in the day put back up again. And this trailer showcases Sonic's new fighting moves, then they go into a lot of detail here. There's a skill tree to unlock skills that you'll need for later enemies, and you start with a homing attack, a drop dash, and a stomp. And I'm not going to get into a detailed description of each of the new combos and abilities. You can check that trailer out if you're interested in that. But they named some of them like Phantom Rush, Sonic Boom, Wild Rush, and Psych Loop, which is that one we've seen already where he circles around something. They also mentioned that many of the Guardians have unique combat mechanics, and Sonic also has a parry function. And I must say, I think the trailer looks a lot better than what we've seen in the past as far as the combat system goes. You definitely get a lot better idea of what it's going to be like. But regardless of that, I'm still going to wait for reviews to see how it stacks up given Sonic's recent history. And finally, since it's Friday, let's take a look at the latest sales numbers from Famitsu coming out of Japan. Of course, coming in first place, we have Splatoon 3, no surprise there, but then the Switch release of Nier Automata comes in at number 2. Then we have Dragon Quest X, followed by Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and then number 5 we have Minecraft, and then we have the Rhythm Festival game at number 6, and then for the PS4, Dragon Quest X, and at number 8, FIFA 23, and then we have another new entry, Haikuruki Shinkai. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right or not. And this is a new entry in the story-based genre. And then finally we have the Switch version of FIFA 23, which is the Legacy Edition. So I'm not surprised to see Nier Automata get into the second spot here, but I am a little surprised that it sold only a fourth of what Splatoon 3 sold. I have a feeling we're going to see Splatoon 3 at the top of the charts for quite a while now. And switching over to the hardware sales, we have the Switch OLED model coming in first, followed by the original Switch, and then that disc version of the PlayStation 5 coming in third, and the Switch Lite still coming in behind the PlayStation 5. And then pretty low numbers for the PlayStation 5 Digital Edition and the Xbox Series S and X. I'm guessing this week probably had some supply issues going on here. And in total sales, the PlayStation 5 is just about 21,000 away from breaking that 2 million mark in Japan. And if production is ramping up, I would imagine that they'll probably reach that goal before the end of the calendar year. And that's all we have for today. Did anything we cover catch your attention? Were you surprised to see the PS5 tied with the PS3 and reaching that 2 million mark in the UK? And how long do you think it'll take before Sony gets to the point where they're releasing the PC version of a game just a year after it comes out on PlayStation? Drop a comment about those topics or anything else we covered today. I want to thank you for watching, have a great weekend, and be good.